Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here with another Voices for a New Humanity. I'm Eliza Bloom Robinson, and I am here with my dear friend, Soleira Green. Thank you, Soleira,
Yay!
us again.
Great to be here.
I thought what we'd do today, because we were just talking about it, actually you suggested it, let's just hop on a recording. We're talking about this new humanity now and all the new, but making it really practical. Like, how do we really be living these new possibilities? So, yeah, so I'm gonna have a quick conversation about that. So,
Yeah, because you and I were both saying that, we've both been on like what would be called spiritual journeys for a long time. And I think we've kind of popped into a place where it's embedded in our life. It's a real life experience for us. It's not, I don't have to sit and meditate and go way out. And it's like I walk in a high vibe. I go do my shopping in the grocery store. I'm sourcing magic all over the grocery store when I go.
right?
It's like the life power, the transformational power in me is just always there. It doesn't go away at all. So if I pass someone on the street who seems to be struggling, I would just, do my thing.
It is really, it is really like that. Instead of like popping to that place, now we live there, and once in a while I'll pop out. I had a thing this week that I popped out, but it's so fast.
It is, but it's so in me now.
Yeah.
I had a friend message me today, like, well, what do you do when you get fear and rage? And I said, oh, I don't get those anymore. I said, but if I did, I would relish them as an experience, and I would use them to create momentum and power in my, because I think they're fabulous energy. So I wouldn't just get lost in the range of emotion or try not to have them. I would have them in a kind of relishing way. That it's another example. I sit like, no matter what's going on in the world around me, it can seem quite chaotic. I seem to sit in this source core of, by the way, do you like my
Yeah, I know you got your
my superpower arms? But I seem to sit in this kind of really strong, what I would call a source core, where everything makes sense, everything has a purpose, everything's possible. I look at life that way. There's nothing that happens to me that isn't that happening, you know?
yeah.
So it's deeply embedded in us now, I think, as a real life experience.
And that just that especially the anger and the rage, but even the fear, it's fuel for momentum. It's like,
Yeah.
but what do we really want? Okay, I'm feeling this, I'm having this experience, and what do we really want?
Yeah. And then there's infinite intelligence and knowing. Oh my God. Like it used to be like 25, 30 years ago, I would have to like work really hard and get way past myself to ask a question and hope I got something. And hopefully that was useful. That was back at the beginning of my journey of discovering all this. And now it's like, ask me a question, got the answer. And I don't say the answer like there's some truth, but insights just come left and right. All I have to do is just kind of orient the infinite intelligence, and I have a relationship, a living presence of relationship. So I can go, should I go to the grocery store tomorrow at 8 p.m., 8 a.m. and stand in the queue? Is that the right day to go? Is that safe for me given the coronavirus? So, oh, yeah, tomorrow's a good day. Okay, I'll go tomorrow. Should I go Wednesday? No, don't go Wednesday.
It's an innate knowing. It's the impulse is become so practical.
Yeah, yeah. It's my whole life is guided by that now. And I can see there are moments when, like I remember Centauri his computer was dying and he wanted a new computer. And he drove all the way to Bristol, which is about an hour away, and found out he didn't have the right documents to buy the computer. And he drove back and he was like, I'm going back again. I was like, I wanted to say, don't go, don't go. And he went and had a car accident.
Oh dear.
And when he came back, I said, I kind of knew you shouldn't go. but I didn't dare tell you not to go because you were keen, you know?
That
And
marital relationship, you don't dare.
yeah, and so we talked about like from now on, everything we do, we're just gonna say, is this a good thing to do right now? Because there seems to be a universal guidance system that our lives don't have to be lived in chaos and crazy and stuff happening. And when you're following that universal GPS system, like it it takes you to the right places at the right times, it gives you the right ideas, the right flow. It keeps you out of the crazy spots, I
Yeah.
find.
Yeah, and it feels like that, that's one of the greatest gifts of this whole pandemic is that people have had to slow down. Now, you and I haven't slowed down. We've talked about this. We are busier almost, but the pace of the world has slowed, the noise of the world. So it's easier to access that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And what's wonderful, so some people might think if they're listening to me, oh, I couldn't do that. But everybody I've ever met can.
Mhm,
Something I think that's very innate in us.
mhm.
And then we grow into systems and thinking that doesn't let that be innate in us, you know?
Yeah.
So it's pretty
And,
cool.
and with that noise quieting down, it's easier now to feel it. And
Oh yeah.
the power of the new, we've talked about this before too, but the power of the new is we have access. We can line up so quickly
Yeah.
that it becomes, it's just, well, you've already said it would just, it's embodied, it's embedded in a way that's
Yeah.
different. Like, oh, right, left, up, down, call, sit, rest, nap, go. It's just, it's
Yeah.
as close as our own breath. We don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
very different way of living life. It's a high vibe, but it's not out there. It's right here.
Right. And the other thing we've talked about before that I just want to bring back is we've talked about how in the past, of course, my whole career has been in the spiritual world, but the spiritual world in and of itself is very much peace and grace, and it's very beautiful and lovely. But this new place has this power. It's like
Yes.
it's a powering up. It's a I don't want to use the word manifesting because it's not manifesting, but it's
No.
aligning with the possibilities, and then they're happening so quickly.
Oh, yes. It is that power that to me, I call it life power.
Mhm.
Um, I think before when I was walking around as a normal person, being bounced around by stuff that happened,
Right.
um, and not understanding it and not being able to put it in any kind of a framework or context or purpose for myself. And I didn't feel powerless, but I certainly didn't feel in charge of what was happening to me. It just seemed rather willy-nilly as I went through life.
Mhm.
Whereas now, I'm the source of the power of the life unfolding. And that's what you're pointing to, is that we've learned to access this beautiful life power and how we, like, yes, talking about the universal GPS compass stuff, yes, that's true, but also there's something in us. There's an innate knowing, an innate guidance system, and an innate power up that lets us elevate life. And I was going to say, you were talking about feelings, and I think for a lot of people in this period of coronavirus, they're empathically feeling the crazy, the fear, the concern, the grief, and one of the things that happens when you unleash and embed this life power in you is you can do something about it. You don't feel like you're sitting here just absorbing all the crazy,
Or being
you
blown
know.
in the wind. It's like,
Yeah. Instead, you can come to it and gift it wonderfulness. You can gift it purpose and outcomes and magic and miracles and, just all good things, not just wishes, but real actualized outcomes. And that's where I think there's an orientation of being able to live this newness,
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
optimal becoming of us, this new humanity. We
Yeah.
can live it practically and wonderfully now in every second, in every instance of our life.
And if we forget, we pop out, we come right back in.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
the thing that's occurring to me when we're talking about this is it is so far greater than our personality, than our ego, than our own
yeah,
beingness. It truly is that life force, life source that is both within us and so much greater than us. But there's
yeah,
also feels like the whole grand design of the universe is not pre-designed anymore. It's open for
yeah.
it's blank slate that we have access to that also feels in a very new way.
Oh, yeah. And there's so much joy in it.
Yeah. And
Oh
light.
my gosh.
Yeah.
There's something, we went up to on the Glastonbury tour this weekend, which I haven't been up in months. I haven't even been out of the house in weeks now. And just being around green and sky and buttercups.
And buttercups. They were beautiful.
The whole tour was covered in yellow buttercups this weekend. I've never seen that before. And it does something inside you that there's this wondrous world occurring beside the chaos.
Mhm.
And when you can just put your orientation to the joy, the wonder, the awe, the breathing in of that beautiful, natural, awesome, super vibrant world, then not only are you breathing it in, but you're also helping to exhilarate it at the same time. So yeah, that's one of the things that really helps me is being able to get out in nature
Yeah.
in some way as well.
Yeah.
Good energy.
We've been
Yeah.
able to do that so much here.
Oh,
It just settles. It's like,
you live in such a beautiful place with a
I,
lake and everything.
I know. We were actually on a boat with our neighbors last night, socially distanced. We were at the front, they were at the back. But
Wow.
it was cool. We were in jeans and sweatshirts, but it was like, oh.
Yeah,
Other,
exactly.
the other word that I want to throw out there is the exhilaration, but there's such a gentleness, like the whole chaos has
Yeah,
softened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It has for me too this new version of reality that we're living in. That it's really real. It's embedded in our life, as we're saying. But it's so delicious.
Yeah.
Just that's the only way I can describe it. It vibrates in your cells. It throws your heart open. It thrills your insides. It lights up your life, you know?
You just feel it as you say it. Like hopefully our listeners and watchers are like they're feeling it just as you say it because it's that
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is. Yeah. You know, one of the things I would say that I think took me to this new place is a willingness to adventure into the new, to be curious, because, years ago it was like, oh, change was the biggest stressor on the face of the planet. And now it's like, oh, change.
Oh,
What's
change. Yeah, we were
new?
the group that you lead that I was in last week or whenever it was, we were talking about teleporting and everybody's like, oh yeah, we're all over the place. And I'm having the experience just like, wait, I can't believe that yet. It's like, but why not? So like, I feel like you peek over the edge of it and pop into it. Peek over the edge of it and pop into it. And peek over the edge of it and pop into it because it
Yeah,
is so new and
yeah,
it's not coming from our known past.
yeah. It's living in limitless possibilities. And it's so exciting, so joyful, so light, so powerful, so brilliant. I just can't imagine why everybody would want some of this. It's like somebody on one of the calls today said, I'll have some of what she's on.
That's right. That's right. And we're doing this over here in New Humanity Now, powering up possibilities. So I'm so grateful to you in so many ways. I so appreciate you. I just so love you. And thank you for
Same
being
here.
with us on another episode of,
Same here. Loved it.
yeah, yeah. All right. Bye, everyone.